Today, I've got the iGPSport iGS800. This is a bike GPS unit that you can fit on an out front mount or on your handlebars. And it's surprisingly priced at only $359, which in my opinion makes it a super interesting option if you're looking for a large screen bike computer. To me, this thing feels like it's competing with Garmin's Edge 1050 or the Wahoo Ace. And while it doesn't contain all the features that those bike computers have, it gets pretty stinking close. Let's take a closer look at what all the iGS800 has to offer. So first off, the iGS800 is a large screen GPS with a massive battery life. The 3.5-inch screen is super sharp, and I found it to be super easy to read, especially whenever I go out and do trail rides on my mountain bike. It was really easy to be able to see what was on the GPS screen and keep my eyes on the trail. Now, one of the big things is that this is waterproof. It's IPX7 waterproof, so if you get caught in the rain, there's no worries about it getting damaged. And I was actually caught in the rain for part of a long ride I did the other day, and even with thick gloves and water on the screen, the touch screen on the iGS800 performed really well. Now, the computer I got came with a bar mount, but I used an out front mount that I had on my XC bike. This will work with a standard Garmin style mount. Now, the big thing that impresses me with all of the iGPSport computers, especially the iGS800, is the hot start technology that basically starts up the GPS and makes it ready to go in about 3 seconds. I first experienced this with the BSC300T that I reviewed about a month ago, and I am really happy with that feature because I've stood around for a long time waiting for GPSs to boot up before, and that's never fun, especially when you're out on a cold ride. And according to iGPS, it can actually do this because it uses a dual frequency and 5 satellite positioning. Not really sure what all that means, but that's how they claim that they get this fast startup going. Now, as far as on the feature side of this, the iGS800 offers pretty much all the basics you could expect. The speed, distance, cadence, elevation. It connects up via ANT+, and Bluetooth will work with pretty much all of your sensors that you have out there. It even supports connecting to lights and radars and some e-bike systems like the Di2 electronic shifting setup, which that does add a lot of versatility to a lot of riders out there. So if you're looking for something like that, the iGS800 is probably gonna be perfect for you. But if you're looking at the iGS800, you probably already know that pretty much all basic GPS computers can do that type of stuff. You're probably looking at this specifically for the large screen and the massive 50-hour battery life. So about that battery life, the iGS800 promises 50 hours on a single charge, which is absolutely crazy. On my 3-hour ride the other day, I experienced hardly any battery bar movement the entire time. And that was 3 hours of ride time with probably about 4 hours of actually running the GPS. And if what you get out of the standard settings isn't enough time for you, you can simply go into the menu system, change some settings, and get this GPS to last for even longer. Super big battery on a super big screen is definitely a big plus. Now, by far, my favorite feature of this entire GPS is definitely the GPS navigation on it. With this big screen, it's super easy to see where you're going. It's almost like having a small phone on your handlebars. So it is a little bit big, but you're easily able to follow that line whenever you're trying to navigate down the trail. One of the things that I really liked about it too is that instead of an obnoxious beep, it has a little light chirp that gets your attention. So it's not obnoxious like some of the other GPS units I've used in the past. Out of all of the GPS units that I've tried, this has gotta be one of my favorites because of the large screen. I typically like smaller GPS units like the BSC300T because they kind of disappear on your bars and it still gets all the data you want. But whenever you're riding somewhere where you're not really familiar with where you're going, having a large screen is a big benefit. Now, iGPSport has an app that allows you to pair up all of their GPS units, including the iGS800, and you can dive into deeper details about your ride data. You can also sync it up with Strava, and it's really actually pretty effortless. I'm finding the more that I use this particular app, the more that I actually really like it. The fact that I can turn that app on after a ride and it syncs within seconds really does make it seamless. The other thing that I really like about it, whenever I'm on my iPhone, syncing up a route to the app is an absolute breeze with Strava. I can simply just download the route directly to the iGPSport application, or I can actually have iGPSport in the app go out and grab all of my routes or all of my segments. So it can be preloaded in here, ready to go. Now, overall, I found the GPS performance on this to be super accurate. It gave me turn-by-turn directions really well and super clear. I had zero issues with it out on my long 3-hour ride out in the rain. Even the touchscreen worked pretty much flawlessly. It does come with some accessories. Mine came with a bar mount and this little kind of string here to actually be able to attach to the bars. Just in case I hit a really big bump and this fell off, I wouldn't have to worry about it tumbling down the trail. Now, it does come with a rubber silicone case that I wish did fit a little bit more tightly because it is a little bit flimsy, but it does add a little bit more protection if you want to basically protect your kind of expensive investment. But really, when we're talking expensive with GPS units, $359 seems like iGPSport has a really good unit on their hands, and they're really trying to take a chunk out of the market from Garmin and Wahoo. And personally, at this particular time, unless you're a die-hard brand supporter, I'm not really sure why you wouldn't want to try the iGPSport brand. So there you go, that's the iGPSport iGS800, and I've got to say, it's packed with performance, it has a massive screen, a massive battery, and overall, this is just extremely impressive for $359. If you guys have tried this before, let me know in the comments below. If you've tried a different model that you think is better than this for the price, also let me know in the comments below. But if you guys like this review, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment below. But as always, get out there and ride your bike.